Hello, future engineers. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're still new to my channel and you like what I'm doing, please don't forget to share my videos to your friends and to your friends' friends, to your younger brothers and sisters who would want to take up engineering in the future, and to your relatives. That's one way you can keep me going, inspired, and refreshed. Now, if you find my videos interesting and important to your studies, also please don't forget to subscribe. Hello, future engineers. There is another video in calculus, particularly on composition of functions. If you want to anticipate the solution to these exercises, you may do so by pausing the video. Express the function in the form f of g of h. So for part A, q of x is 1 minus 3 to the x squared. For part B, q of x is secant to the fourth of square root of x. Then part C, q of x is cube root of square root of x minus 1. So we can answer this directly. H of x should be the outer function, which is x squared. So h of x should be x squared. Then g of x should be 3 to the x. G of x is 3 to the x, so that g of h of x is 3 to the, we replace x by x squared, so that's correct. Then finally, f of x should be 1 minus 3 to the x. Sorry, 1 minus x. Yes, 1 minus x, so that uh, it is 1 minus 3 to the x squared after g of x. Part B, h of x should be square root of x. Then g of x should be secant of x, so that g of h of x is secant of square root of x. Then finally, f of x should be x to the fourth. So that should be f of x. For part C, uh, the outer function h of x should be square root of x. Then g of x should be x minus 1. And f of x should be cube root of x. So that's it for that first exercise. For the second exercise, use the table to evaluate each expression. So here is the table. So for part A, f of g of 1. F of g of 1. G of 1 is when x is 1, g of 1 is 6. So that is the same as finding f of 6. So f of g of 1 is f of 6. The function value when x is 6, f of x, when x is 6 is 5. Therefore, the answer is 5. B, g of f of 1. G of f of 1 is the same as equal to, because f of 1 is 3, so that is the same as g of 3. And g of 3 is 2. So the answer is 2. Part C, f of 1. F of 1 is 3. So that is the same as f of 3. And f of 3 is 4. So the answer is 4. D, g of 1. G of 1 is 6. So that is g of 6. G of 1 is 6 here. And g of 6 is 3. Therefore, the answer is 3. Part E, g of f of 3. This is the same as g of f of 3. And f of 3 is 4. So that would be g of 4. And g of 4 is 1. So the answer is 1. Then part F, f of g of 6 is the same as f of g of 6. and g of 6 is 3. So that is f of 3, and f of 3 is 4. F of 3 is 4, so the answer is 4. So that's it for that exercise. We proceed to the next one. Use the given graphs of f and g to evaluate each expression or explain why it is undefined. So we have 6 parts here, and this is the given graphs of f and g. So f of g of 2, g of 2, 1, 2 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So g of 2 is 5. Part A is the same as f of 5. That is f of g of 2, which is g of 2 is 5. This is x is 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And f of 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So f of 5 is 4. Part B, g of f of O, f of 0. F of 0 is 0, so that's g of 0. And g of 0 is 1, 2, 3. It is 3. This is the graph of g. So it is 3. C, f of g of O is the same as f of g of 0. And g of 0 is 3. So that is f of 3. And f of 3, 1, 2, 3, it is 0. It is intersecting the x-axis. So f of 3 is 0. D, g of f of 6 is the same as g of f of 6. F of 6 is 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6. F of 6 is also 6, so that is g of 6. And g of 6 is because the graph of g is up to only 4. It does not exist at x is 5 and x is 6. So g of 6 does not exist. So the explanation, the graph of g is only up to positive 4. It is not defined at 5 and 6, so beyond 4. So that's why it does not exist. Letter E, g of negative 2 is g of negative 2. And g of negative 2 is negative 1, negative 2 is positive 1. G of negative 2 is positive 1. And g of positive 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4. So g of positive 1 is 4. Then lastly, f of 4 is the same as f of 4. F of 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4 is 1, 2. F of 4 is 2. So that is f of 2. And f of 2 is this negative, this one. It is negative 2. So that's it for this video. I hope that you learned something new, especially in computing functions and composition of functions.